Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case, digging in a little bit more. An FBI profiler speaks out, and what he has to say may surprise you. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and hope. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Let's go. Welcome, Annie Marie.
Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Ready?
I've walked through storms in scars.
Coming in clutch,
Come on.
better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Welcome. Thank you. Well, hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options. Anywhere. What happened to my thing? On the internet? Anywhere in the world? What's going on? And you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate spending some time with me. Today is the last day of April 30th, 2026. It is currently 10:04 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello, my beautiful friends. Tonight we're talking about the Nancy Guthrie case and some interesting things that we are going to be diving deep in tonight. And also, Brian Enton did a very good interview with, let's see here, he did the really, really good guy that we liked the other day. We're going to be talking about that. I'm going to be doing probably another members only interview tomorrow on the Guthrie case. I've got some interesting things, some things I can show you guys this evening, um, and some other things I'll have to show you guys tomorrow during a members only because we go really, really deep in that. And it's got some things in there that I just can't show publicly, if you will. But it's so good to see everyone. Thank you all so much for joining me. Let me say hello to a few of you guys before we get started. If you would be so kind and please hit that thumbs up button, we greatly appreciate it. Also, consider sharing the live out. Hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. Also, if you would hype the video, you get 3 hypes a week. If you don't use it, you lose it. Consider hyping this video after the live stream. Greatly appreciated. Miss Ginger, good to see you. Tony, hello. Sasha, actually, Ashley, good to see you. There is I see you and I see you. Forget me not, never can, never will. Miss Sherry, good to see you. Leslie, always keeping it real. Deborah to the Dixon, good to see you, hun. Robin, good to see you. Miss Tina, Oranges, hello. Thank you so much, Oranges. Appreciate you. Love you too, darling. Appreciate you. Miss Lori Christie, hello. Miss Ratue, up in here, up in here. Peace of Jesus to all. Good to see you, my dear. Miss Robin, Lisa, Unapproachable Light, Deb, good to see you, darling. Christy, hello. Miss Tina Long, Quincy, bonjour. Who else do we got? Miss Wendy, Christy, Miss Sasha, hello. Susan, Deb, good to see you, darling. Miss Ginger. Hey, Jason, good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Who else do we got? Oh, thank you, Deb. Appreciate you. Miss Din Cherry, hello. SJM, hello. Thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you all. Really do appreciate you guys hanging out with me a little bit. Um, where should we start? Where should we start? So, well, let me just say this before we get started. I want to make something clear. Nothing said in tonight's stream should be taken as an accusation against any person discussed, shown, named, referenced, or connected to this case. I'm not saying, implying, or suggesting that any individual is guilty, involved, responsible, or connected with any criminal activity unless it has been officially stated by law enforcement or proven in a court of law. This live stream is for commentary, discussion, news analysis, and publicly interest only purposes. We are discussing publicly available information, media reports, timeline statements, and opinions. Do not contact, message, threaten, harass, accuse, or dox or interfere anyone mentioned in this case, or if they are connected. Do not go to their homes, workplace, social media pages, family members, friends, or associates. Everyone is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law. With that said, let's move on with it. So, Saw someone of my yes, Josh is one of my best friends on here. Love Josh. Um, okay, let's get on with it. So we've been comparing things on Nancy Guthrie's case for quite some time, and found some interesting things. We've been um, looking with the guy's name that came up with the Range Rover. He recently sat down, did an interview with another channel, and he claims that he has been in the country of Jordan since 2019. He says he's, traveled to several different countries throughout that time. Um, However, he's recently hidden a lot of his profiles and comments and that kind of thing. Um, And there's some things that I do want to show you before we get into some of the interviews. Look at this. I was just looking at this the other day. Look at how many people were there the night they was looking at the dailies. Oh, I forgot. Let me pull this up 1 second. One little second here, please, if you don't mind. Um, oh, I might have to run to my phone and pull it up. Let me make sure I got it. Um, let's see here. What time is it? 10:10. Okay. Guys, give me dang, I hope I have it. Let me make sure. 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. I was really uh reading some names out here just a minute ago, and I wanted to make sure that I have it before we do this. Uh-oh. 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay, I don't know what I did with it, so I've got it here somewhere. I just don't know. I've got too many tabs open in my brain and on my computer. Okay. Uh, yeah, we haven't started. We're just now starting, Susie. You're not late yet. We have a 15-minute grace period. Okay. Let me let's start out with this so I can find what I was looking for and pull that up the first thing because it's something that they said in the beginning or when they were actually doing the search warrants. They said something very, very interesting. I know I sent it to myself somewhere, but where that is, I don't know. I'm looking for it. It might be right here. Bear with me. I can't stand it. Yep, I found it. Okay, here we go. I found it. All right, here we go. Let's go. Y'all ready for this? Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Fox News spoke out on this on Valentine's Day. And I want to
is on the ground in Tucson. He has breaking details on last night's police operation. Matt. Hi, Kaylee. So Sheriff Nanos here in Pima County tells me that no one was arrested last night. No one is in custody at this hour in relation to all that law enforcement activity on the ground last night. I would caution that that's the update at this hour. This is obviously a very evolving situation. Law enforcement has already warned that people that they are questioning could later be arrested. So we know that someone was questioned and released earlier this week.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I thought that was interesting when I guess Sheriff Nanos told him that.
Are questioning could later be arrested.
Yeah. Remember how I kept saying that I believe that they could possibly be back at this house? I believe that very, very much. In my opinion, I really do. I believe that very, very much. I'm going to scream with I'm going to scream with StreamYard because it's not letting me scroll up and down with something, and I can't find what someone was questioning could be later arrested. Well, just listen to that little part again right here. Listen to this.
Sheriff Nanos here in Pima County tells me that no one was arrested last night. No one is in custody at this hour in relation to all that law enforcement activity on the ground last night. I would caution that that's the update at this hour. This is obviously a very evolving situation. Law enforcement has already warned that people that they are questioning could later be arrested.
There you go. Sheriff Nanos was talking to him and told him this, and then he said, law enforcement has already warned that they could go back. They could go back, right? Now, again, with the gentleman what's his name, Carlos, Sheriff Nanos, again, it's Sheriff Nanos, but he said that there were multiple things that made them look at Carlos. Overlapping is the word that he used, right? And again, I really want to do OBS. I would really like to do OBS, Brenda, and it's free. OBS is free. Instead of charging me $100 a month for StreamYard. But it's really, from what I understand, it's really complicated with people who share a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I might check it out though.
So we know that someone was questioned and released earlier this week, but the sheriff says, hey, that person is not entirely cleared. So the latest update from the Pima County.
Okay. Another thing right there, Carlos said that Pima County told him that he was cleared, but the FBI said nobody's cleared. That's what Carlos said, right? Remember him saying, well, Pima County said I was cleared, but he said FBI said nobody's really ever cleared. Now, here he says, Sheriff Nanos says this.
Released earlier this week, but the sheriff says, hey, that person is not entirely cleared. So
that person is not entirely clear. Sheriff Nanos said we have as much as we need of him right now. Right? And to me, what this is saying is that it's very possible if, they get the stuff that they need and they find things, more things, or they're, could be building something, well, of course, they would be back.
The latest update from the Pima County Sheriff is no arrest, no one in custody at this hour. Also, a takeaway here is that we are, starting to see a pattern where law enforcement, if they're focusing on a target, they may bring out all of the bells and whistles, the entire SWAT team, multiple law enforcement vehicles, maybe simply just to question someone because they don't want to run the risk of any type of backfire. So moving forward, if we see a lot of a SWAT team or law enforcement activity, it may simply be just to bring someone in for questioning. Now, also there is that other scenario or incident that was happening last night with a Range Rover that was ultimately impounded. The Pima County Sheriff's Office told us it cannot confirm that that was related at all to the Nancy Guthrie case. They weren't denying it was, but they are not confirming all that information you're seeing about the Range Rover was related to the Guthrie case. Again, that is the update at this hour. Perhaps the FBI will come out with something different. Kaylee.
Yeah, and that fits the
Now,
pattern of what we saw earlier in the week where there was questioning
they did later say that it obviously was because of the Nancy
an
Guthrie case. They didn't say, they just said that's the reason they were searching that. Okay.
individual. We saw that SWAT team van move, but it ended up just being a questioning that resulted in very little as you interviewed the sheriff. He essentially said that suspect, not a suspect rather, but that individual who was questioned is clear for now. Is that correct?
Yes. Now, but again, the sheriff says no one has been ruled out, and he's actually told me, look, that guy who we questioned, maybe we'll arrest him later on. He was confident with his alibi, and he was released. But the sheriff is urging that anybody that they're questioning or
he was confident with his alibi. Now that's interesting. That's interesting. It seems like, in my opinion, it feels like more people might potentially be involved in this case, but they weren't specifically maybe at Nancy's house. It could be. We don't know.
Detainee could be later arrested. And I also would, highlight that we haven't heard from the FBI on this matter. Mm-hmm. The statement that the sheriff initially released earlier was saying, we're holding off based on what the FBI is asking of us. So maybe the FBI will come out in a bit and give us something different.
Matt, keep us updated. Thank you.
Okay. Just wanted to show you that right there. Thought that was pretty interesting, if you ask me. Okay. Now we're going to go over to some things that we've heard about this Range Rover. We've seen it with our own eyes and them searching it and all that. And Daly and his mom purchased this this vehicle. It was on a Craigslist and a website, and then it was taken out. This guy his real name is not Zach, but we'll just call him Zach. He spoke very early on after this happened, and he comments some places here, and Zach, he says, "You're such a fucking kid, 12 years old and stupid for sure." And then he commented to someone else, and it says, "And you're posting from a fake account, zero post, zero friend. You're such a stupid person who's gonna get FUCKED up very soon." So a little aggressive on that, I would say. I blurred out any information, names or partial names on here. It also says that Z, we'll call him Z, worked for another business in a dermatology business after 2019 as well. We'll say that's what it says here, at least. In Tucson, Arizona, he was an alleged, potentially an accountant. Okay. Now, again, someone who seems to not really like Range Rovers, he claims, has Range Rovers. Right? Hey, Angel, good to see you, my dear. I found that, Range Rovers is one of my favorite vehicles, but I openly love them. I'm not ashamed. Don't like a Range Rover. Now, this is in January 15th of 2022, downtown Dubai. Now, you can also rent a Range Rover as well. You can rent luxury vehicles too, but it seems like he purchased this. And this one is January 6th, 2021 as well. And it shows him having it delivered, Harry's arms. Yeah. And, the watch, right? The watch. It seems like he's been into vehicles his whole life, if you ask me. Hold on, did I not show it? Okay. 1 second here. Okay, here we go. This is what I want to show you. These are taken at two different times. Again, they're both a profile, but I, again, blocked out names and stuff like that on that, so there's no identifying information. But he originally joined the Find Missing Nancy Guthrie case updates since February 14th, 2026. So there's that. Now, all of his stuff, I think, was deleted in that the group and all that. But before this, his Facebook profile seemed to be less locked down, if you will. And it shows that he, his some details and all that. But what I find interesting is where it shows where, and again, I've redacted it, but you can look at it yourself and, make your own opinion, where he potentially worked at. And it says from August 1st, 2018 to present, 7 years and 6 months, which I find that very, very interesting. That part. If you look at it right here, where he, you see what I'm saying? Which he claims that he hasn't worked there. And again, this is what he claims. He has not worked there since, I guess, before 2019. You're not late, Alicia. Well, happy belated birthday. Mine was the 25th. Yes, September. Yeah, I agree, Lori. Oh, Sharon, you got to go look at the members only one. You got to go look at that one. That one's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So, now, again, what's interesting is none of this no longer appears on that profile. None of that appears on that profile any longer. Whether that be Facebook or any other social media, it's all been locked down except in Instagram, which he claims in his interview that he does. He says the pictures and the video, he said he had transferred over to his what's it called, TikTok, but They are not the same at all. They are not the same at all. So I find that very interesting as well. Why are we, locking things down? Don't know. Don't know. So if the DNA is matched of one of those guys, it's bad news. Well, I mean, this is the thing, if they claim that they don't know Miss Guthrie, um, then yeah, that would be very bad. That would be very bad if their DNA showed up. Actually, let me make this a little bit bigger so I can show you this as well. Again, there's um, this is from Dubai, and it says late night special delivery. Please do not confuse this photo with Daly's vehicle, because this is several years apart in two different people. Daly's has like a gray Range Rover as well, but Dubai late night delivery. I believe that there is, actually, Ashley. I really do. I believe that they have a hell of a lot more. In my opinion, I think that uh, I think, how can I say it? I think that they are working really hard and putting things together. In my opinion, I really do. Going to go to News Nation, and I want to. This is our guy here. He does an interview with Brian Enton
Tonight
later.
we're hearing from a former
I want you
FBI
to hear
profiler
this.
who says a few clues that we know of. Among
Listen to
them,
this right
these
here.
grainy images of a masked man on her porch the night she disappeared. And then, of course, there's the blood spatter on her doorstep, which DNA testing confirmed belonged to the 84-year-old grandmother.
Okay. The more I dig into this, the more I think it's very hard for me, because I think, man, was this a paid, did someone pay to do something to Nancy? Or was it a group of guys or whatever who thought they really were going to get something over on a celebrity? And I really don't know. But I will say that if the theory is that they were going to do something to, to get money, that they knew, someone's mother who lived close, I believe that the moment Nancy got to the doorway, that's when everything fell apart. Right? That's when everything fell apart. There's so many other richer people. Yeah, but not everybody is as easy to access either, right? A lot of richer people, they live in gated communities. They're not 84 years old. They don't live alone. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I am saying is if there is something about just, that they thought they were going to get some ransom or whatever. Because remember, it happens in other countries, and sometimes they can get motivation, if you will, and yeah, I'll say that members only.
But while these clues may seem limited, my next guest says these images provide a treasure trove of information on Guthrie and what happened to her that night. Retired Special Agent
Yes.
Jim Clemente has drilled down.
Jim Clemente. Love this guy. Mystery Sky, thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate this. 16 months. That is incredible. Thank you for putting up with me that long, my dear. Love you. Appreciate you very, very much, my friend. Good to see you. I really appreciate that. I feel that they were hired to get rid of her. Nothing taken. Savannah isn't that huge, in my opinion. No, just I agree. Oh Lord, I hope my battery does not die. Um, if it does, we'll just do it with the camera off. Um, I feel like this is probably hired. I really do. I agree with you guys on that. I'm just saying if it's not, if it, I would think that they would take better care of her if it was for ransom, right? Like I'd be, you got any medicine or
On
anything
these
you can take
pictures,
with you?
frame by frame. And to try and fill in the blanks on this baffling mystery, he joins me now to share what he found. Jim, great to see you. We should say you were an FBI profiler.
Yes.
It was your job on tough, cold cases to come in and reverse engineer, try and figure out who they should be looking for.
Yes.
Let's first take a look at the blood images. The first one is this image. It's a wide shot of the blood spatter on the doorstep. What does that tell you when you look?
I mean, I agree with you guys. Like, when it comes to that, like, think about, I find it weird just the day it happened. Like, as soon as you get done with your, family's meal and you get home,
at it?
Well, it tells a story of a snapshot of time.
then your father-in-law doesn't, or your son-in-law doesn't even walk you inside. He squeals tires after you get right inside.
There's low velocity blood spatter, there's medium velocity blood spatter, and then there's on the right-hand side, you see a blood smear. That means somebody impacted that blood after it hit the floor.
Stepped on it.
Stepped on it, rubbed an arm or a hand through it, something like that.
What do the blood drops tell you?
Well, the bigger droplets tell us that because there's no directionality,
Okay,
that,
let me look,
that
Deborah.
they were
Thank you.
dropped almost directly from above. But the smaller droplets tell a different.
I just like, he kind of thinks that this was kind of like someone doing this because of Savannah. Again, I'm not sure about this. But one thing I do agree with him on is the blood. I just emailed you back, Deborah. I don't think that it's really because of Savannah.
Different story.
Which is what?
Well, they're actually medium velocity blood droplets, which means that they were coughed out. They were aspirated and then coughed out. And I know that because some of these blood droplets, you can see
He does a
they're sort
great
of
analysis
rings
on
rather
this.
than the whole solid droplet.
Mm-hmm.
And that meant that they hit the ground as a bubble. They had air in them. And that can only happen when somebody coughs or sneezes out blood.
So what does all that tell you? We know this blood is Nancy's. What does that, studying that blood, what does that tell you about what was happening to her at that moment?
It tells me that her face was within a foot, probably several inches above the ground, almost directly above that first upper left blood stain.
Mm-hmm.
And it tells me that this is probably where she made her last stand, where she fought her abductor.
She was 84 and could barely walk.
And I think most of us probably agree with that, right? Obviously something happened here. It's no two ways about it. Something happened here where we see this. Something really bad happened to Nancy right here. I think this was the last time I think she might have thought maybe they're taking me to a place in the house, but when they started taking her outside, it was like, oh, something's really bad's going to happen. And this is the only place where she could have even potentially screamed to alert someone, because once you're in that car and they're taking you somewhere. So they might have hit her to make her be quiet, right? They might have knocked her unconscious. I mean, she was she's delicate. She's 84 years old. It's, bones are brittle and all that at 84. Oh, thank you, Anne. Thank you so much, babe. I appreciate that very, very much, my dear. Great series on today. Engage. Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that, my dear. Really appreciate your support. Really, thank you so much, my friend. So I do agree with him on this. I really do. Okay, here we go. Thank you for that, Anne.
I understand, but this is probably where she gave them the initiative to
Yes,
hit her in the face. She started bleeding. It went down her throat. She coughed it up as she went down to the ground here. This tells me that was most likely only one offender, because two offenders would have had control of her completely, and she would never have made her way down to the ground.
What do you think about that? One offender, two offenders. There could have been two offenders there, but seemingly there's just one. Seemingly there's just one, because again, if the 11th without the backpack seems to be the same man as the night she went missing. Right? Now there, and when I say one offender, it means one of them just could have been taking her out. The other one could have been in a car to be the driver or whatever. Don't know. It doesn't mean involvement. And I think that's the thing that we need to differentiate on, is there could have just been one guy there, but that doesn't mean involvement. Knowing, right, or helping support or plan, or wanting this to happen to someone, planning it, paying, that's involvement as well.
So close to be able to make that blood spatter, that medium velocity blood spatter.
How could one person do this? She was 84, she could barely walk. She wasn't tiny. Carrying another human being, no matter what size they are,
I don't
is not
believe
easy.
he was carrying her until after this point. At this point, she was ambulatory, and I believe she was punched. She was injured. She went.
I certainly don't believe there's more than two there, if there is two. I personally feel like there was just one in that house now, in my opinion. I believe more is involved.
Down to her knees, and her face was very close to the ground when she coughed up this blood. And after that, he picked her up and carried her away, getting her to that point.
And here's the thing. There are times that criminals will have someone executed or whatever, and they'll have the executioner, but then they'll have someone else take the body to get rid of it, right? So they all kind of do their own job, if you will.
He had a gun, and a very visible gun, when he was on his way in. He used that gun to control her, but at this point, she fought back.
All right, so you're using your FBI profiler skills to really study everything you have, and which isn't much we have in the public sphere. But what using your skills as a profiler is the story to you on who this person is who took her?
Well, if two of the ransom notes were real, then part of the motivation was money. But I believe that there may have been a second motivation, and that is probably to hurt Savannah Guthrie. By taking.
Now, again, he thinks this is to hurt Savannah. That's his profile on it. Maybe, but I don't know.
Her mother by
Most of y'all don't agree
depriving
with
her
that.
of that, and that could have been based on some interaction that this offender had with the mother or with Savannah in the past. It could have been weeks or months or years ago. It could also have been just a delusion in his own mind. And he could have built up an anger in her.
Okay, let's think of this. if it was to hurt Savannah, let's just listen to him. We don't have to agree, but let's say it is to hurt Savannah, but you're taking her out. You haven't got her medicine yet or whatever. You want her to be safe or whatever. But things go south when you start taking her out of the doorway. She's not complying, whether you have a G pew pew or not. She's not complying, and things go south, and it didn't go as you planned it to go in your mind. Is it possible? Maybe he was going to, take better care, if you will, of her, but things got out of hand when you was taking her out the door, and then it just went south.
Resentment against her. And as a result, he felt justified in taking the mother to hurt her.
So I'm hearing you say he. You think it was a man. You think it was
Yes.
a man who was acting alone, and you think it was a man who had some sort of obsession with Savannah.
I think
who
that's the
maybe
highest
watched her on
probability.
TV every morning, and
Yeah.
became obsessed somehow.
And he may
I agree. Like Simply Real says, it could be to hurt SG, but why? Was it jealousy of somebody scorned by not getting attention from her, or was it? See, this is the thing. I don't like, in my opinion, if it was to, I don't think it was necessarily, if we're talking about what he's talking about, which is not, again, my big theory on it, but it's up there, but it's not the biggest. I don't think it's really to hurt Savannah in this case. I would think it would be just for money, pure and simple, in my opinion. If they just knew Savannah's mother lived there, she was easy. She's 84 years old. She's a national figure. I would think it would be just for money. Nothing like they was wronged by her or anything. Just money. But again, that's not my leading theory, but we're just going with what he says.
have had some delusion going on in his brain and that nobody else knew about, or that he maybe spoke to some people about. And that's how we might be able to catch him, because at some point, somebody out there will recognize that this guy always talked about her, or said he was going to come into some money, or right as this happened, as the images were released, he left town because he had an emergency.
Boy, that's interesting. He left town because there was some emergency. That makes you wonder, doesn't it? Right?
Super quick, Jim. Do you think, given, I know these are all your theories as but you are a profiler and this is your expertise, was she alive for any portion of the time she was missing?
Well, she was certainly alive up until that point where she fell in her
Listen
own
to this
front
part.
stoop.
Okay.
So when he took her, she was alive.
All right, Jim Clemente, we will continue.
He believes she was alive when he took her. I believe she was alive up to probably the door, but we don't know that. That's just what he
Continue to
says on this. Okay, all right. Let's go and let me show you this right here. Brian Enton does a very good interview with Jim Clemente here. Let me drop Brian Enton's links here. Mods, if you would drop Brian's links, links are provided in the description. Here we go. Sorry, I just got to do this or I'll forget it. I don't want to forget it. Right here. Okay. Here we go. Oh, no, ma'am. Okay, I got it. Okay, perfect. Here we go. I want you to see this part right here.
Knowing all this and building up this institutional knowledge in the behavioral analysis unit that's passed down from generation to generation of profiler, this helps us read crime scenes and determine, when we see a particular aspect,
Find the timestamp.
and we did two things, or them as distasteful as it is. Well, if that we were able to maximize the chance that we're getting accurate and reliable information from them. We also allowed them, as distasteful as it is, to basically relive those crimes in their minds.
Yeah, I agree with that, Angela. Definitely someone who lived close by. You don't visit a house multiple times if it's not convenient. Yes, and on very specific days, right? Never during the weekday, only during the weekend, right? I wonder why they never offered proof of life. Well, if you believe the first and the second letter, the one said time is of the essence, and then it was the next day, time is no longer of the essence, and we still don't know everything that is in those letters, right?
And many of them really, really liked that opportunity. And unfortunately, I mean, it's a horrible, nasty thing. But fortunately, it also encouraged them to give as much detail as possible, and that helps us in the long run solve these crimes.
I'd imagine, you had to treat them like human beings and be polite and sort of try to gain their trust. Was that ever difficult with I think about like people who abducted kids and abused kids and
absolutely. We had to build rapport with these offenders, and we had to treat them with dignity and respect. And
it's very hard. When I did an interview with Stacy Wandra, I'm not good at being with these type of people. I am not good at just being like, why didn't you do this, mother chicken? Knowing that, in my opinion, he was guilty as hell. He's being charged for it, the death of a 5-year-old now. And it's very hard when you're like,
it's literally the only way we were going to get accurate and reliable information from them. And it is extremely difficult. It is very distasteful. It is
total pig.
It leaves a mark on your soul because you're buddying up with these people who've done horrific things. And because we are focused on the victims, it's a very, very difficult chore that we had to do.
It is, it's very scary in those prisons. Very scary.
But because it is so revealing and helpful in terms of preventing future murders, future serial rapes, future child abductions, that's one of the hard things that we do in law enforcement.
Yeah, and I mentioned to you the thought of, back to Nancy Guthrie, someone like hitting Nancy, an older 84-year-old woman. Like in my mind, I almost
Angela, that's the thing. Surely if they expected to receive millions of dollars, they would understand that they would have to show proof of life, the kidnapping 101. I agree with you. However, I think, again, if it was for money, I would think that the reason that obviously they couldn't show was because she was dead. But it could have started out for money, but then things go south. Old people can die, especially if they're very stressed, they don't have their medicine or whatever, and then they would still try to maybe get the money anyways. Writing the letter, or it could be a distraction. Things doesn't always go as planned, so that's
That couldn't be possible. Whoever did this, as bad as they are, like they wouldn't have done that. And how could you hit an old lady? But I guess when you do what you did and you go to the prisons and you talk to people who committed these kinds of crimes,
most of us, it's just inconceivable to do this to a person. And it's just incredible, crazy that there are people like that out here that will do this to an 84, to anybody, but much less an 84-year-old woman or a child or someone who's, handicapped.
Maybe I guess you're not as naive that you realize that they will.
They've done things that are horrifically worse than that, horrifically. And part of it is they might be a psychopath, and literally have no human empathy. They treat other people like they are pieces of furniture. They do not care. They do not care at all about other people. And other cases, for example, with sexual sadists, they actually want to cause and witness the suffering of others.
Daniel, right? Again, all of these people have this pattern. Like in Daniel's, I showed you those texts where he wanted pain to happen sexually to someone he said he claimed about.
That is what turns them on. That's what gets them off. It's a horrible, horrible thing. So, yeah, there's a lot of different variations of people who we've talked to over the years who would do so much worse than that.
So all of the information goes into like a database? Is that how it works?
Well, database is, I don't know what whether they actually have a database, but they have a library of all the results of all of these interviews. It's used to train new profilers, and it's drawn from when they get a new case. And I don't know. I know there was a move to make a database, but I don't know since I left whether they actually initiated that or not.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like when you sit down and talk to these people, that seems to me like it'd be more valuable than like writing down the information.
I think, I agree with that. I think that they just wanted Nancy. I think all of us pretty much can agree on that, because regardless if it was just for money, the main goal was Nancy. It wasn't anything in the house. And if it wasn't for ransom, still the main goal was Nancy, just to get Nancy out of that house, right? How much would it be necessary? I don't know. There's nothing to suggest that they took anything or went in any. In fact, the reports are that Nancy's house was immaculate still, even pretty much after they took her, right? Ocean Breeze, thank you so much, my dear, for your support. Really do appreciate that very, very much. Let's say they took Nancy because she had hairs on, because she had, they left hairs on her, etc. That would help the FBI know who the perp was. But how about putting a bleeding woman in the car? Makes no sense. Okay, let me see let's say they took Nancy because she had hairs on her. That would help the FBI know the perp was. But how about putting a bleeding woman in the car? Makes no sense. Well, you're right. There's no way that they are going to get that out of their car, if that's what you mean. But I also believe, let's look at it this way. Again, if one of the search warrants that they went to or one of the vehicles has blood in it, right? I think it's highly, in my opinion, suspicious that, for instance, Mr. Daly got a brand new vehicle a week after Nancy goes missing. I find it also suspicious, in my opinion, that they pay with a cashier's check, that they pay cash for this vehicle. Who pays cash for? I mean, you're better off than I am, that's for sure. If you can pay cash for a car, most of us can never do something like that, right? So if it's related to car dealership, cough, the car they took her. Well, I feel like that Range Rover, like Ocean saying here, thank you again, Ocean, appreciate you. I feel like that car, that Range Rover, really has nothing to do with this. I would be interested in the one previous. Again, if we're talking about Luke, which again says he has nothing to do with this, he's not been named as a suspect or anything, but the insurance company allegedly come and tows that vehicle. I believe, in my opinion, the FBI has probably looked at that car. Maybe they said the insurance was picking it up. Maybe the FBI took it and, you know, searched it. Maybe they had a warrant for it afterwards. But again, if we're looking at the places that they've searched and all that, these people seem to be, some of them at least allegedly, seem to be affiliated with some cars, lots of vehicles, right? And again, remember, the reports are from the beginning that they were having a very hard time finding a vehicle, right? Hey, Sammy, he wrecked his car. Yep, yep, yep. Oh, thank you, Ratui. Did you email it? One second here. Or did you text it? Makes sense. Was to one in the vehicle waiting to pull up and being the watch out. They only wanted one guy on the inside with her age and having a GUN and less chance of DNA for only one. And that's exactly right. Think about that. If there's more than one person in the house, that's more chances of DNA, more chances of being caught as well. Oh, I didn't get an email yet, Ratui. When did you email it? Oh, Sassy emailed me too. When was this? A Pima County judge has set a trial. Ooh. I didn't get yours, Ratui. That's really good, Sassy. Mm-mm. Maybe it'll take a second. We're going to come right back to this, promise. But let me show you this right here. A Pima County judge has set trial date for Derek Kella, the man accused of sending a fake ransom message to Savannah Guthrie. Court records show the trial. Okay, we know that. He was charged with transmitting a demand. And again, I think this guy is so freaking weird. Like, what's the likelihood of him not, being in that weird band? And then you have Tommaso, and it's very, I don't know, he's got He's in from California, you know? Yeah, gents, I was looking, like in 6 months, the elderly just in the United States with one app, I forget what app it was, they were scammed $500 million in the United States. Just one app. I can't remember what app it was. Okay, I think I got it. I got it. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. I see it. I got it. Ritui. Thank you, babe. This guy right here. The more I look at this, the more I think this is Luke. I really do. I don't know though. I think it's Luke. I think that's his nose, in my opinion. I don't know. But what's again, I think where Zach messed up was where he said his brother that Luke's brother was there, and that's definitely not Luke's brother. I don't know. You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. I don't know, but he does have tattoos. He does have tattoos on his arm. And that's the thing that I know it can't be. Let me find it. Do I got it? Yeah, look at this right here. See this? That's a tattoo. You can see the tattoos. And Luke, not yeah, Luke has tattoos all the way up his arm, all the way up his arm. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's certainly a guy with tattoos. Is that bunny ears? I don't think so. Um, that's why like was layered very yeah. I think yeah, I believe that's why he was overdressed in that video, in my opinion. Could be a brother from a different mother. Well, I mean, look at this. I did think it was potentially Zach for a minute, but I don't know. When you look at Luke here, Luke has a big nose too. Luke has a big nose too. And like I said, I think that there's some links here, and I do think the FBI will be back. Right, Ginger. You know, I did actually have a picture of the guy, but for the life of me, I can't find it. Are you talking about Luke's brother? I have a picture of Luke's brother. I do. Um, I can't show it on here. I can do it like on a members only, but I can't show it on here because he's not part of the public, if you will. He hasn't came out and spoken yet, so he can't. Why did Luke shave for the interview? I wonder. There's a lot of questions for Luke. I think Luke is just, he was very, very nervous.
Well, they're videotaped. Everyone is recorded, audio and video. Yeah.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
those are all kept in the library and also notes. But because obviously there are impressions that you get that may not be very obvious from the video or the audio recording.
Now, I will say Matt looks nothing like his brother, in my opinion. They look just nothing alike.
So
at all.
I think all of those insights, when you're an experienced profiler, I think those insights are also important.
Would a case like Nancy Guthrie's be difficult because it does seem atypical, unusual? There's not a lot of old people abducted. I mean, I'd imagine like with a child abuse case or a child abduction, like we've seen that happen over and over again, sadly. But would this one be harder for the profilers?
Well, it all comes down to how much behavior is evident at the crime.
Pan, I'm highly needy. You cannot go to bed. You got to be right here with us. Put the phone beside your bed. Right there. I'm high maintenance. Good night, Pam. Love you, darling. Get some rest, honey.
Seen how much pre and post offense behavior is discernible from what happened at the crime scene. And I think obviously
they might be like, I don't know if they're like biologically, they were adopted, absolutely. But needs charged. Right. But they could be half siblings. They might not be biologically related, but
the profilers, I'm sure, who are involved in this case.
Ocean breeze makes me feel fine. Thank you so much, my darling, for gifting a What is wrong with StreamYard? Thank you so much. I'm trying to play this. Guys, what is going? StreamYard has lost its mind. Okay. Thank you so much. I found it. There we go. Finally. Appreciate you, Ocean Breeze, for gifting that pearl necklace. Really do appreciate you for that. Thank you so much, my dear. If you received that pearl necklace, make sure you give our Ocean Breeze a big, big thank you. And thank you for being a member as well, my dear. Really, really do appreciate you very much.
Have a lot more information than we do. And that, I think there's plenty of information for them.
Have no idea.
To interpret, to analyze in order to build a profile. I don't know. I don't know, what the level of information that they're sharing is. In other words, do we know 90% of what happened in that house, or do we know 10%? I don't know. But chances are they all.
You know what it reminds me of, Deborah? This reminds me of the Flintstones. Whenever, for those of us that's old enough for the Flintstones, whenever like he was getting, because they use their feet to move their rock car, when they would go, like they're getting ready to go real fast in the. That's what it reminds me of.
Are holding back significant amount of information because you don't want to give everything out, because obviously that can seriously hamper the investigation.
Yeah, of course. With the behavioral analysis unit, I saw that Rex Heuermann, the Gilgo Beach serial killer, as part of his plea deal, agreed to talk with them.
Where's Jen? I don't even see Jen in here. There's Jen. That's hitting to the bush. Jen, that's the first time I've seen you in here. I don't know. Something's weird with you.
It made me wonder, like, because I covered Brian Koberger so extensively, why that wasn't part of his deal. Because there's still so many questions about his motivation and what actually happened.
Right. Well, as I explained earlier, sometimes we need to let them ferment a little bit in prison before we even approach them. And I think Brian Koberger's arrogance and his
Hold on.
ego.
I'm sorry, but side note, because they're talking about Koberger here, I don't know how anybody thinks Brian Koberger's innocent. I really don't, people. Maybe you're one, but I don't see it. How? I mean, he said he was guilty. He said he was guilty. And people can be like, well, he said that because he didn't want the death penalty. You got no, nope. I mean, it's okay if you do, but does anyone think Brian Koberger is innocent? Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, Barbara, I'm sorry, honey. Justin, I found the picture of the guy at the Range Rover. You can see his full face. No. Really? Mm-mm. No, baby, I got that picture. Who you talking about? Are you talking about this guy? That's a cop. No, that's a cop. That's a cop. He's looking over there. I can look at BK and tell he's a freak. I mean, I don't see how. Are the jewels working? I sent one, but didn't flash on the screen. Let me see. I don't got my phone. Mods, did the jewel go through, mods? I don't know. If jewels go through, please let me know, guys. Just mentioned it because so many people think the guys with tattoos are. Oh, no, no, no. I actually have a tattoo. I wish I'd have never gotten it, to be quite honest with you. But I have a tattoo, not where anyone can see, unless I'm naked. But well, almost naked. But I wish I'd have never gotten it. I truly, honestly don't think I was stupid getting a tattoo for me. Now, I would maybe like a tattoo with like my grandmother's photograph or something, but I truly, honestly don't think Cade did the red rooms by himself. He pledged. Ah, wait, I just can't see it. I just can't see it. I don't know. Actually, Ashley, thank you so much, babe. Thank you for thank you so much, Ashley. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. What a compliment. Thank you very, very much for your support. I really do appreciate that. And I love Texas. Love Texas. One of my favorite states. Oh, I don't think so, Ratui. I think he's looking over here. So, I actually have heard some things about. Um, there was obviously not a body found in this car. And what was it else? There was three things I was told that they didn't find in here. It wasn't like it was nothing allegedly big, like when they were looking at the back or whatever. I like tattoos, but don't have one. I can admire them though. Yeah. It's all in what you like or whatever. Mine's a half moon and I was 19 years old. I was waiting tables. I had just gotten, you get paid every day waiting tables. And my girlfriend, no, not a tramp stamp. My girlfriend, she wanted me to get her a tattoo. And I was like, sure, I'll take you to get a tattoo. And she, you're so like almost, I wasn't pressured by any stretch of imagination, but she's like, let's do it. And, I was like, oh, okay, and I have one like down here below my belly button, above my hoo ha, but it's on my like where my hip is, like the front part, and it's a half moon, uh, but it's not a very good one. I was like squirming the whole time. That was the most painful thing I've ever like. That thing was. I'd like maybe they're less painful on your arm or wherever, but there was this big scruffy man above me, and I was like, "Ah." The whole time, I'm like squirming. I'm like, I just can't take it. I can't take it. It's so bad. Son has a sausage dog, a sheep, a tattoo on his calf. Yeah, my there's a lot of people in my family has tattoos. I would be extra scared too. It feels like hot razors going into which it technically is going into your skin about 1,000 times per second. The guy at the Range Rover had a watch on his right hand. Often you will see that in left-handed people. Uh, the guy you showed at the previous video, OS, had a watch on, but illustrates it with the left a lot. So it seems that Z has, it seems like he's left handed. He keeps his watch on his left hand. He generally always wears a black or a silver, very bulky watch. It hurt since. It hurt since. I'm so, it really did. I'm left handed and wear my watch on my left hand. Yep. I think you're right. It's not him, but you can see the head in the middle. I don't know. Like, I don't know if they're. I do believe. I mean, they're looking in the hatch here, but I also think maybe they were potentially transferring this guy. But I don't know. I wish someone was there earlier. Um, I just think his tattoo is visible on short sleeve. Um, if I'm not mistaken, Porch Guy used his left hand to remove the Nest cam, in my opinion. Well, we don't know. We don't really have him a picture or a video of him removing it. He's doing something like fiddling with it or whatever. But yeah, he is using his left hand predominantly. Right here. Look at this. There's like, I need to know, like, I wish there's like one half of a frame, if you will, right here. And you can see him so much better, but it will never let me grab it. But watch his hand. Oh, no, wait. Let me show you this one. First of all, he's got the flowers in his left hand, right? Now, I'm right-handed. So I would have the flowers in the right hand, right? But he has it in the left hand, right? Which is very interesting to me. Some people say that they think this guy has a watch or a bracelet on his left hand as well. Now watch this one. Watch this. Right here. Make it bigger for you guys so you guys can see it better. Right here. Watch him. He's got his pew pew. He's got his left hand on his pew pew. Right? Now, look at this. How would you Okay, if you are familiar with pew pews, GUNs, I'm a GUN carrier. I have a concealed weapons permit, all that. Um, if I'm going to draw a pew pew, right, I'm going to grab it because I'm right-handed. I'm going to grab it with my right hand, right, and then both hands. Look at there. Look how he's got his hand. But what confuses me here, I don't feel like this guy's very experienced with pew pews, but look how the handle is. Nobody talks about this part. Look how the handle is. You wouldn't, so he's left-handed, or he appears to be left-handed, but the handle is this way, right? So you wouldn't grab the handle out like that, would you? If you were left-handed, would you grab the handle out like the opposite way? Yeah, he would use the right hand to draw. That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Deborah. That's what I'm saying. The holster's too small as well. Yeah. You're definitely going to do is I'm thinking maybe he's left-handed, but uh, only had that holster. I don't feel like this guy is very is the he's just not. I don't think he's very experienced with the GUNs, right? And this is very unique, the way he has his GUN here anyways. You're exactly right. Plant lady, it's a right-handed holster, which it's probably harder to find a left-hand holster, especially like a Walmart or something. Maybe he put the holster on backwards. Well, you can only have that's true. You only have a left or a right hand holster, and because nobody carries a pew pew like this. This is a what they call a Mexican something. The way they carry it. I'm right-handed, but use my left. I mean, we all use both hands, right? But we're dominantly carry or pick up things naturally with our strongest hand, right? Our hand that we um are more if we're left-handed or right-handed, that is our strongest hand, right? So I'm right-handed. My right hand is stronger than my left hand, right? Maybe he might use both hands, but I don't know. Mexican carry. That's it. Thank you. It's a position of how one carries it. It feels like a prop, Justin. I think I mean, most of the times, GUNs are just really to intimidate. Hopefully, they never have to use it, right? Um, but like Plant Lady said, this is a right hand carry, so that's why. I mean, look at this. If you couldn't flip this over if you wanted to, right? You couldn't flip this over if you wanted to. So this tells me one of two things. This is very interesting. This tells me that this he either bought this holster and there was only right-handed holsters, or this isn't his GUN and this was borrowed from a right-handed person. Yes. I think he's left-handed too. I think he's left-handed too. This is very interesting because he's holding it, he's touching it with his left hand. It's a right-handed holster, so you have to put it on either that way. I just figured out something. I swear to God. You know why he's carrying it this way? Fucking shit. The reason he is carrying it this way is because he is left-handed. Because if he would put that on his right hip, that would be super foreign for a left-handed person because they're going to go like this. So it's easier for him to draw quickly, if you will, to put it in the middle because it's a right-handed holster. There we go, folks. That's the reason he's doing the Mexican handle. That's the fucking reason he's doing this Mexican handle. We figured it out. We figured this out. We figured this out. That's the reason. All of us was like, why is he doing it this it's very bizarre. The reason is this motherfucker's left-handed. It's a right-handed thing. It's going to be very uncomfortable for him to do it right there. That's the reason he's got it in the middle. That's the reason. There we go. Right. Right. I mean, we call it. You're right, Sammy. But this is but with the Mexican carry, they're not carrying it in a holster. Put weapons in their sweatpants or in their hood or whatever. You're absolutely right. However, we call this Mexican carry just because it's between his legs. It's just a way to say that it's a Mexican carry. He's doing it only because he is comfortable with it, right? People do things because it's more comfortable for them. We are all creatures of habit. We all generally take the path of least resistance, especially in crime, right? Especially in crime, because you don't want to make it more complicated on yourself, especially when you can get caught. And you don't want to make things harder on you, right? Well, I know of one. I know of one, Mimsy. In my opinion. This really, yeah. That narrows down. I mean, hold on. What's the percentage of left-handed people in the world. 10 to 12% of the world's population is left-handed, with studies generally indicating a range between 10 to 15%. While global average is roughly 10.6%, the number of notable is lower in countries with cultural taboos against the left-handed, such as China, approximately 2.6%. Left-handedness is more common in males, roughly 11%, than females, 8%. There you go. Angela, I don't know about Luke, but I do know Zach is. How do you hype? You hype it after the live stream. It's like where the chat area is, and there's like 3 dots, I think, and you scroll over and it'll say like there's a hype button. You got it, I think. Some law enforcement draws crossbow, but this guy is got a short arms in relation to the girth of his waist. I think that's exactly it. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. My father was born lefty, then tried his, they tied, yeah, yeah. It's, can be, yeah. So there's that. Hold on. God, I just pushed everything. Okay, there we go. Yes, my uncle carries Mexican carry. It's even in movies. Yeah. I mean, we call it, this is called Mexican carry, but it's not, for him, it's not Mexican carry. This is just a right-handed, what's the word? Sorry, Limes gets me sometimes. It's a right-handed gun holster, but watch his hand right there. See? He grabs it. Watch it. See? Make it bigger. He's holding that right one up, and look, he's covering it with the right, but this is his stronger hand, the one on the bottom. See that? This is so he's fiddling with this stronger hand. There you go. Left-handed people are generally very intelligent. Watch him. Okay. Look at there. Now see, he's with his left hand right there. I weed my flowers with my right hand because I'm right-handed. He's grabbing it with his left. Right? I have never purchased left-handed scissors, so I only cut with them right-handed. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, things are more difficult generally for left-handed people, right? When he does that, the sleeves move up, showing his wrist. Yes. Yep. I wish we had a better, right? I would love to see him. Hold on. I would love to see him rip those flowers more, where they sit in a booth at a restaurant matters. Oh yeah. Yep. Right-handed hasn't made Yeah, dumb right-handed hasn't made me any smart. Maybe less so because I have to adapt to everything. No, generally left. Actually, I believe isn't like most of the presidents left-handed, if I remember. My brother's a lefty and he's a smarty. Left-handed people are generally very, very intelligent. Um, they, I don't know. I bought the wrong sewing scissors, gave them to my left cousin. Hmm. I mean, it doesn't mean that they're, doesn't mean anything necessarily, but at the end of the day, it's just a general term, if you will. I want to see this now. 1 second. Now this has got me thinking. Really thinking here. Let me see how he does this. See, he's got him in his left hand. Look at there. He's got him in his left hand right there. Justin, I want to know why he shows his torchlight on. You know something? Ginger, Deborah just made me think of this, but you just said a comment a second ago. Why he shows his torchlight on the pavers as he turned around there on the porch. Showed his torchlight. I think he's just looking at the grass, but Ginger just said something very interesting where like people in a lefty in a booth, they have to sit at certain places, right? I wonder if this is part of the reason he has that mouth light because he is a lefty. Could it be that, if he's carrying a flash, I mean, you could carry it with your right hand, but it's just not it wouldn't be his dominant hand. Is it different for people? It wouldn't be different for people carrying a flashlight, but I don't know. No, I mean, on the door, when he turns, play it again. Let me see. It's with the other video. Oh, are you talking about that right there? I could use a flashlight. I couldn't use a flashlight left-handed. Yes, Angel Kisses, he is. When he turns around. I don't get what you mean, Deborah. He uses the flashlight right here. Like he's like right there. I don't get what you mean. Oh, another ding for Zach. Angel, yeah. Hold on 1 second. We have someone trying to fool me. Up in here, up in here. 1 second. Thought criminal to the office, please. You're being paged. Thought criminal to the office, please. You're being paged. We need a load slip for thought criminal, and we need a a discipline slip for Ginger because Ginger said we won't tell. My mod is covering up for thought criminal. And then there's the evidence. There's my evidence. Busted, I didn't tell. See? There we go. Both of you guys can go to the corner right now. Okay? We'll have none of that here. Stop looking. Yeah. Okay, Robin, I still don't understand. I just walked away to the kitchen to fill my water bottle and I left. Damn, that sucks. That sucks. I see it, Deborah. Okay, did I miss something from Deborah? I want to see what Deborah's talking about. He's looking on the ground next to the mat after he turns around at the door. He is looking at the ground next. Oh, like from when he's turning from the camera? Okay. He's going to turn here in a second. Right there? Oh, right there? You mean right there? Is that what you mean? Right there? One case at a time. Yes. Is that what you mean? Yes, right there. Okay. He does. Yes. And you're absolutely right. He does. This is going to be really dark here because obviously this light's not on. Folks, it's a very good thing to keep your porch light on, in my opinion. But it's very dark right there, and he's looking for something to cover it up, and that's why he walks out here. Okay, look at this right here. Do you guys? He's got these covered up, but is he wearing a watch? Is he wearing a watch? Look at this shit. Oh, let's see here. I really can't tell. He could be. Let me just zoom this up a little bit. See, he's got this covered, right? But there appears, are these longer gloves or what? Is this something round right here? Let me actually let me show you this. And again, this is not confirmed. I want to make that clear. Just like people says this guy has a tattoo, I do not believe he has a tattoo whatsoever. But people say he has a tattoo. We don't know that to be true. All right, look at this right here. Check this out. Okay. Can I get, how do I draw on this thing? Let me see if I can draw. I want to show you something. It might be down here. Captions. Tracer. Does anyone know how to draw on this thing? Crop. Edit. Brush. Okay. Here we go. It looks like, in my opinion, and this is really bad, but there's like a circle here. right? Oh, crap. It's not 100, but to me, it looks round and flat. We can't draw on the screen. You see what I mean? Right there. But whatever he's got, he's got, let's see, you know something? We need to see his other arm and see if it goes in like that. And see if we can find it like that. Okay. Give me a second. Okay. You know, I this is not a tattoo. You know what I think this is, in my opinion? I think this is the gloves wrinkling here, in my opinion. I think they're longer gloves, and you see how they're kind of very wrinkly, how they're shoved up in a box. Well, this isn't stretched out much here. But what is that? Do you see that right there? Is that a tag inside? You see what I'm saying? Right there. Yeah, wrinkle in a glove. Someone speculated he had on a painter suit underneath. I think it's he's got something on underneath. Yes. Let me see if I can. If it might be too pixelated. I don't know. There's something there, but I don't know what that is. But hold on, let me look at that wrist. I'm wondering if these might be like yeah, yeah. If he's got like a hazmat suit on or a painter's thing, it's going to that would make sense, right? You know, like they do like during the pandemic or whatever, when they wear the hazmat suits, they put the hazmat suits down to here and then they wrap the uh what's it called? The gloves over top of them, right? And it's going to create this big thing here. I don't believe that's a tattoo at all. Do you think he has tape on his eyelids because he never blinks? That's very interesting, AZ man. Um, a lot of people talk about that, but I know he's watching me right now, so but notice someone else that doesn't blink a lot, in my opinion. On my screen, if you look at the top left on the glove, I can see a square indignation. Yeah, like up here. Yeah. Are they ever going to find this guy? I think they know who this guy is. Hold on, what was that? You can see something uh 1,000 times. You can see this a billion times and notice something else. I don't know. There might be something there. Hold on a second. Look at this. Night vision really makes things weird looking. Okay. 1 second. So weird, man. Yep, that left hand. Okay. Looks like, can they make the video and call her Justin, the FBI? I doubt it. I mean, I can call her if I want to, but you don't. They might be able to, but the thing with, like, when there's so many pixels, pixelated, you can't add more pixels unless it will. You can make the quality better a little bit, but not much, not much. All right, let me show you this now. Nancy was 5'4". This guy's 5'9" to 5'10". Right. I find this very interesting. Hold on. Again, we're not blaming anybody that did this, but let me show you. A lot of people talk about, like, this area right here. This area. I believe first of all, there's a lot of, it's black and white. It's night vision. But this right here, I believe, is this right here as well, in my opinion. Oh, I want to show you something else here. I think so, Funania, in my opinion. But again, every time you do that, it's uncanny. This one really gets me. Let me find it. Look at this. I wish I could make it bigger while I do this. But look at this. He went sideways. He did it sideways, like kind of turned sideways, and I grabbed it because I was like, we're just looking at, like, the nose and the eyes and stuff here, because nothing can be perfectly aligned because it's two different situations, it's two different angles, it's two different cameras. It's the lips for me. Speaking of that, I've got something here. Could it actually really? Maybe. He has a defect on the one. 1 second. Very cover. Does he not want to show any? I don't think he's. I don't know if that's. Okay. So I was looking at this earlier. I'm just trying to find it. This as well. By the way, I've got some very creepy pictures of Luke. Like, it seemed like he liked to go to like haunted places or something like that. It's very weird. No, I can't show this right now because I'll have to do it my members only. Maybe. But it was just how he kind of trims his thing around here. I can't show it publicly, piece of Jesus, I'm sorry. If someone's defending Zach in this chat. I know, I wish I could. I can't do it publicly though. I feel bad when it's like that, but I can't. Because they'll ding me on here. Okay, let me see here. What else do we got? Sociopaths don't blink. Okay, let me show you this. Hold on. Let me go this. Speaking of blinking. Speaking of blinking. Okay, watch this. Ginger, what's this guy's name? Not this guy, but the channel, so I can give him credit.
You want to give to the case or anything?
What's this?
And that's it. They didn't ask about that.
Okay, watch. Let me see if this might be a better one. Okay. Trying to get the best one for you, maybe. Bear with me, guys.
Maybe he means
on some
food.
Okay. See if he blinked.
Real talk.
75.
Alex? He said,
the radio.
He said, go ahead and keep the change, bro. He did. He said, keep the change, bro.
He has a permanent
and right now he's on some naan or something. Is that part of
does he think he's muted?
Okay,
Maybe you should tell him he's not muted.
No, we're okay. We're enjoying it. Oh, yeah. That was a credit card right there. They're way ahead of us, bro. Look at that.
Uh-oh.
That's
a hot mic.
Look, someone in the car with them, too. Look. Bless their heart. Look at him.
Smiling.
That's the kind of guy he is, though, guys. So that way when people accuse him, it's like,
boy, smart head.
He's a God-fearing man. He's a regular dude like us, you know. Look at him.
Was he at the drive-thru getting some food?
Yeah, he got some naan bread. Is that Jordanian naan?
Okay, what the names again? Now I'm focusing, yo. What the names again? Abuncio or something like that, right?
Lucy.
None of them.
Oh, actually, Zach, I do have one more question. You gave an interview. You gave an interview, and you mentioned that it was an old woman and a man that purchased the car. So I assume that you
Yes,
stay in contact with your buddies over at MG Motors.
Luke and his mother. What is it?
Do you keep in contact with your friends at MG Motors?
Yes, of course.
And that's how you receive that information?
Yes.
And earlier I asked you about the information about Matthew. How did you know that he was the driver of the Range Rover? Nobody knew that. I mean, nobody really knows more than the group of people.
I saw that thing on Facebook in one post.
Why? Because Sleuth, I have a question for you. Is it the truth that he was driving it?
I don't know, but if that is the truth, that's something that's not known to the public. How would he know?
Yes, this is what a post on Facebook. I think so on Nancy Guthrie missing something Facebook page.
I thought it was
because they ditched me. They ditched me one time from that group because I'm telling.
Look. Hold on.
They
He's got like big patches of hair there. My sleuth intuition asking questions. What's that? I told Monks to watch your lab to see the guy the other night. He gave me okay. I need to email him. I could talk to him. Why was he even joined the Nancy Guthrie page? Good question. Good question. He, I think he joined. This is my thing. Why did the FBI call him? If you are in Jordan and it's been 6 years since you have been in the country, your former employee is not going to give your name. They're not even going to think about you 6 years later of even being at all. He wants to stay ahead of the news in the game. Yep. No way. And then he asked him if he was here in the States. Yes. He wasn't even meant to be in the country, so why aren't they calling him? Exactly. Someone that you worked with or they worked for you or whatever, they're not even going to think about you. Because remember, and I believe there's something we're missing here still. They said how Zach came about was the back of the car, right? I think there's more to it. I mean, I think that's part of it, but there's something else here. Yeah, MG. Yeah, I don't want to put in the, who's that, Kim? The car still could have been registered to MG Motors on February 12th before the paperwork went through. Mm-hmm.
Ditched me one time from that group because I'm telling the truth.
Yeah. He wants you to know that they got rid of him from the group because he was telling the truth. Someone that hasn't been in the country, claims in 6 years, wants you to know he's telling the truth. He wants to make it that big of a point.
I thought it was Luke.
Because they ditched me. They ditched me
Look at
one time from that group because I'm telling the truth. They all these people, they didn't like that I'm telling the truth, or I'm telling them hey, listen, people, I'm not the guy who looking for.
Do you know who made the purchase of the vehicle? Who was there to buy the car, the Range Rover?
The mother.
It was in her name, a cosign, or it was just in her name?
No, I don't know this info exactly. I don't know anything about it. I know that his mother and this guy, they showed up on Friday. Then they came back on Monday. They paid for the car by a cashier check, and they left. And that's
cash,
it.
huh? Wow. So
not cash. Cashier check. Cashier check.
Okay. Isn't that interesting the way the hand movement as well. But isn't that interesting? They came and they left. Like, in my opinion, he's speaking like he was there. Like he was there. Yeah, they came by, they paid with the cashier's check, and then they left. Right? Not they went and paid with the cashier's check. I mean, who talks about them leaving? Of course they left. It's just extra information.
Same thing, basically. There at MG Motors, do they have you guys have your own mechanic shop, like a tow truck and all of that stuff there?
A tow truck? No.
No
tow mechanic. Truck. Mechanic. There's a mechanic, but private. It's not for the people.
How would do you guys have? And I love the way this guy's asking him, because he's talking to him like he still works there. Do you guys have a mechanic there? Yeah, a private one. Listen.
There at MG Motors, do they have you guys have your own mechanic shop, like a
do they, he says, and then he says, do you guys have like in a mechanic shop, a
tow truck
and a tow truck? Now listen to this.
All of that stuff there.
A tow truck? No.
Well, maybe they've had a tow truck in the last 6 years. Maybe they do now. Maybe they do have a tow truck. You haven't been there in 6 years. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that, Brandy. Yeah. But again, how do they, I think there's more, I mean, because there's a lot of people that's probably worked there in the last 6 years, right?
No
mechanic. There's a mechanic, but private. It's not for the people.
Okay, just for the cars that you're fixing, getting ready to sell.
Yes, that's it. Yes,
get them up to a 5-star marker or whatever.
That's right.
No towing though.
Not telling about what?
No towing. No tow trucks.
No towing. No tow trucks.
Okay. Yeah, that's all I had for you.
But mechanic. Yes, there's a mechanic over there.
A bullshit.
Zach, I have one question. Can you hear me?
Any other questions?
Can you hear me, Zach?
I guess not, eh?
Patriot Pride.
And I got to say that he has been into cars. You're fixing, yeah. He has been into cars his entire life. I have photos back from 2011.
I don't know if he could hear you, so tell me the question.
Alex, you can be the unnecessary interpreter for this one.
Picture, Brian.
That's cool. He may not be aware if he's just communicating with his friends, but I just was interested. Was he aware at all of maybe a wrecked vehicle that Luke had before he purchased the vehicle? If he had heard anything about that?
The guy who asked me these questions now, I forget his name. He asked about Luke, Luke brother.
Matthew.
Oh yeah. Sleuth was asking about Matthew. Yeah.
Yes, that guy. The
I think so too,
people said that this is Zach. He's wearing a hoodie because that guy he used to wear a hoodie. Used to be a beige or white.
Now, when he says that guy and he says Zach, he's talking about himself here. That guy used to wear a hoodie. He's saying that he used to wear a hoodie because he used to wear a hoodie.
Hoodie next to the car, next to the Range Rover when they took the pictures.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of looks like you a little bit. It kind of looks like you a little bit, and then people ran the MG Motors license plate, and of course it pulls up your name because it shows that you're registered.
He's comparing himself with the guy in the photo at the Range Rover.
There as your address. That's how they got your name.
He's talking to himself.
I thought it was just because he had liked the picture or something.
No, they pulled it off the license plate. It still had dealership.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Zach, can you hear me? Zach?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Patriot Pride had
now. Yes.
See if you could hear him, or if not, I'll relay the question.
Zach, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear
me. Go ahead, tell me the question already.
Yeah, I was wondering if he had any knowledge at all about the wrecked Charger that Luke allegedly had.
Yeah. Did you have any knowledge about the wrecked Charger that Luke had?
What is it?
Did you have any information about? Remember, I think I had asked you too if you knew anything about the car that Luke had that he crashed. I don't know if he bought it at. Did he buy it at MG Motors?
You asked me about a car. I think so. The sheriff department towed that car from a house, right?
But did you know anything about that car? In other words,
no, nothing.
Gotcha.
Zero.
I think that's what he was asking. Am I right, Patriot Brian?
Yes, sir. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Zach. Thanks. I'm going to jump off, Alex. Thank you so much.
He mean if he bought that car from MG Motors.
Right. I don't know if he did though. I don't know if he did.
No. Only that the Range Rover.
How does he know where he bought the car from? How does he know where he bought the Charger from? It's a big watch, big bulky watch. Oh, he watches all of us for 2 weeks. How did he know? I mean, that's public knowledge, but again, I don't know if I'm in a country and I'm not really into true crime. I'm not sure I'm going to be watching this.
Right. And then someone here, Mab Investigates, you're also welcome to join the panel. He said, why did they have a sheet over the Range Rover? I don't know if Zach would have known that answer any more than we would, right?
What is it? What the question again, Alex?
Why did they have a sheet over the Range Rover? Did you see they had like a sheet kind of?
Oh, no, I don't know. He can ask the FBI, not me.
Yeah, that's how he said that, right? I don't think we knew that answer yet. But yeah, thanks, man. And then Mab, you're more than welcome to join. And then I don't know if there's any more questions. I don't know if we lost Sleuth. He asked us questions.
Yeah, Lord.
Thanks for joining us, though, Zach. We appreciate it, man. And people see that you're a real human being. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Alex. Anytime, bro.
They do it for evidence, so evidence won't be lost.
Patriot Pride, jump in. Do you have anything to say? You want to talk about the case? Who are you looking at? I was hoping we could ask Sleuth about Richard.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm just I'm excited about. Hopefully tonight we'll still.
Look at his arms, very wide, big watch, big. See that watch there? When I was showing it the circle earlier, what looks like to be a circle in the other guys, right there. See how big that watch is? Big watch.
I know. Yeah, I'm just I'm excited about. Hopefully tonight we'll still be able to do it. We're going to go on.
You're going on like 2 hours, right?
Well, yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. So we'll go over a lot of Richard stuff then.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work because I'm going to probably be on here for
we
another
have no
hour.
idea if this
Give me a
guy's
break, and then I'll be able to jump on there for
not
sure.
saying he's
That'd be
involved at
awesome.
all.
Nice, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm gonna jump off for now. But I don't think you can hear me. But I think it's really cool that Zach,
It's really cool that Zach
came on here and did this.
came on here and did this. That's what Patriot Friday is saying to you. So thank you, Zach. We might have lost
I can't hear him, but I can hear you, Alex.
Yeah, I was repeating what he was saying. So he's going to take off, but he wanted to say thanks for showing up and answering, asking.
Another thing that is very interesting to me is, yeah, same Ginger. What's very interesting to me as well is when they went to the GUN store, they were looking for very specific names, right? They weren't looking for a Mike or a Jason or a Fred or a Harry. They were looking for very specific names. And when I was saying this earlier, let me find it. Whoops, 1 second. What was I going to say? I forgot. Oh, when we were looking at let me show you. When he's holding this GUN and he's holding it with his left hand, and then this is a right-handed holster, and like I said, I believe that's the reason he has it in the middle, because it's a right-handed holster, and that's why he would be more comfortable. This holster, either it was convenient, they couldn't find a left-handed holster, or someone maybe loaned this to him, bought this for him, right? Many times people in crime, they will not, they'll have someone buy them a GUN and use it temporarily. You know what I mean? All right, guys, it is 2:21 here. I have to be up at 5:30, so I'm going to end it here. I truly think Zach, I don't think he is. I think that's his, but you never know. Oranges, HAIRY, but not HARRY. Cactus, he's really been all over. Plus, he sold the. I don't see Cactus. If he hasn't been in the U.S. in years, knows nothing of this desert, why would he even do the interview? Yeah, I don't agree that he has not been in the US for a long time. And really, this is the thing. Why lie? If you've been in the US, it's okay you've been in the US. You know what I mean? So, I think you saw the well, I think the thing about the holster we did pretty good on. Thank you guys. Thank you, Gina, Ginger, Deborah, Cool, Trish, Green Eyes, Ginger, Joe, Tina, Carol, Cactus, Connie, everyone. Peace. Good to see you. Thank you, my dear. If he feels like 221, he's working very hard. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rajui, Pebbles, Mimsy. Good to see you, my dear. Lori, Angel, everyone. Love you all. Appreciate you. Get some rest. Thank you all so much for joining me. God bless you all. I'll see you guys tomorrow, Lord willing. Good night.